In this video, we teamed up with award-winning photographer David Shrimpton to do the seemingly impossible and take wet plate photography into the wild. In March of 1851, the English sculptor and calotypist Frederick Scott Archer perfected the wet plate collodion method. It didn't use film, but a sheet of glass or tin that was covered in a chemical mix called collodion and sensitized with silver nitrate. The plate then had to be exposed and developed before it dried, giving the photographer a working time of up to about 15 minutes. The process also had an ISO of 1, so exposures can go into the tens of seconds and even minutes. And to top that off, the process involves working with volatile chemicals that can catch fire, oxidize, or even explode. It's a beautiful process with a very unique look, and it's very achievable in a warm studio with a darkroom attached. But can we produce anything worthwhile on a cold October day among the shipwrecks and Kent's Dickensian marshes?
While the Mermaid's getting ready to go, we're going to go down and take one shot, test plate, with the 5x4 camera, because we can bring that down, bring it back before we move on to 10x8. So this is our test shot, see what we get, see what exposure is, see what the UV is, see where the tide is, see the way the collodion sees the wood. We'll see what happens. So we're focused on the grass. I'll put it up to the light, you'll be able to see through it. Now I'm going to fix it and the image will become apparent.
Fixing a wet plate image is just like fixing a black and white film image. You use a chemical called sodium thiosulfate. However, the original process, as used by the Victorians, used cyanide.
You can go and spend £1,000 or more on a Deardorff. You can buy this thing, which is what I use every day in my studio. It's a lovely thing, it's a beautiful thing. It's a Dan Mayer rectilinear 10x8 lens. Super light, great lens for 10x8 photography. See what we can see. Wow, don't even have to focus it. Jesus, such a unique opportunity to work here. I mean, this is just magnificent. Wet plate will see this in a way that large format just wouldn't. We'll have some 10/8 glass plates that we can do a contact print from. And then we'll do a 5" by 4" plate in the other camera, because that will go into the De Vere enlarger. And then we can project up and create some amazing blow-ups. 1948, 7, I'm not sure, Graflex Series D camera. Single lens reflex 5" by 4". It's been heavily modified, so it's got a 3D printed front. We fitted in a big, large spool projector lens, and it's got a Minolta prism on the top winder and a 3D printed housing. So instead of looking down through the top, I can just look through here now, and this amazing image is shot at 2.8. With my friends, that's bloody brilliant. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Okay, I'm going for your eyes right now. Shot for the day. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Got it. Well done.
With the 5x4 image out of the way, David lined up the image on his Deardorff copy, and with the image lined up, it was time to go and make the plate up.
I'm going to go and get the plate.
All that was left for us to do was wait.
Hello. I'm always wet and cold.
Once the plate is made up, it's a race against time to get the shot.
Side's coming
The
out.
entire process of making the plate, getting to the location, taking the picture, getting back from the location, and developing the plate has to be completed whilst the plate is still wet. If it's allowed to dry, it becomes waterproof and the plate will be ruined.
Turn the light out to do that. Ooh. We had a huge amount of wind. Oh, such a shame. Would have been great. Composition works. So the collodion wind gods are with us.
There was just a bit of movement in it. Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do is, instead of you holding the reflector, I'm going to stand in front of me to try and stop the camera from this. Stop going. Might need this again.
Go.
Brilliant play, apart from the wind blowing like mad.
Oh, same thing again.
It's a smaller camera, so it tends to not take the wings quite so much.
During the 8-second exposure, the big 8x10 camera was blowing around in the wind, so David swapped it out for the smaller 5.4 camera. Wet plate photography is a really beautiful process, but it takes like film photography to a new level. And everything that's difficult about film photography is 10 times harder with this process. Straight in with the new one?
Nope.
What?
Forgot to take out the dart slide.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I'm just worried about James dying. Okay, this is it. I'm going to take the dart slide out. Okay, here we go, shots coming up. Okay, well done, Jamie. Go back, go back, go back. It's struggling to stay still. Wow. It's lovely. Yeah. I don't know how tired she is, whether she's finished now or not.
She's stubborn.
20 to 5, we've got another hour of light, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you'd think, because it's so much easier to do it today, that photography today would be better. But it's not. It's just lazier, because as the technology gets better, the software and the interface get lazier. People are going back to old-fashioned technologies simply because that effort, that struggle, that difficulty in making you do it and how difficult it is, makes you do better work.
Oh, sorry, this is such a palaver. It ain't easy, this one.
It's not entirely unexpected.
Now, we're fighting everything, light, wind, you know.
Is there anything I can do to...
No, I just want to get you
do?
as locked in as I possibly can. You know, drooped and locked. Doesn't help that it's 20 minutes each way for you to sit and wait, you know. So.
We had time for just one more location. This location was closer to the van, but lacked the wrecks in the background. And with every passing minute, the light slipped further and further away, taking our 8-second exposure on the small islands to 14 on the banks.
I'm a grumpy monkey.
Firing off the little Godox AD400 flash, maxed out as many times as possible, the test plate looked fantastic. As long as she didn't move, and the light hasn't dropped too far away, we might just get it right.
Okay. Well, that's going to be it, because we got no more light now. But the light's gone that much. Look, just in that between those two shots. Yeah, we run out of time, mate. That was perfect. No tail. Thank you again for being amazing.
Thank you for being patient.
Yeah, I just wish I didn't get the shot I want. Not 100%, you know. Which is frustrating. It's there. It's there.
Oh man.
A few weeks after the Mermaid shoot, we went back to see David at his home studio to do a shoot inspired by Julia Margaret Cameron for an upcoming video. And I asked him if he still felt the same way about the Mermaid pictures.
My challenge was that we couldn't control the elements. It was the elements were fighting against us. As it happens, we worked through it and we ended up with something what I wasn't expecting, but was actually as good, if not better. Sean, who sold me the beautiful camera that I use, a small one on the shoot, and he said to me, there's a lot of people out there now to push the button and take the exposure. said, but there's not many photographers out there. And I thought that was a really nice thing to say, you know. There's a lot of people who could talk a good photograph, but being a photographer is often about how you communicate with the person you're photographing. It's not just pushing the button. If your part of the contribution ends looking at the screen in front of you and twiddling some dials, there's no correlation between the two of you and how you create the image. So for me, it's all about the way that you work with the person, you know, and you laugh and you talk and you build the image and you do it together. And it's something that you're very proud of, both of you, at the end of it. And you end up at the end of the day looking at the image like we did there and then. There it is, it's real. And the other thing, you can hold it. I think if you can't hold the image, a lot of people will say I'm wrong, but if you can't actually physically hold the image, it's not real. And that will be around in 100 years' time. Whereas most of my digital images will probably be deleted off the cloud and will have disappeared forever. So anyway, that's just me. I just like doing it the whole way. That's what I do.